Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to discuss the optimized best morning routine for a man who is committed to becoming the best version of himself. And this morning routine is called the Key 3. And I'm going to get into the Key 3 because it's simple and it's potent and it's repeatable and it's straightforward. But before I do that, I want to just let you know why do this. Right? There are plenty of books and podcasts and things on what a morning routine can look like, but very little of them let them know why do it, right? Why get up earlier even though you're probably busy? Why get up earlier and create 30, 40 minutes in your morning to do these things that are just as easy to skip as they are to do, right? Here's the deal. If you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself, the best man you can be, right? For yourself, for your work, for your family, for your community, right? These things are really important because think about it like this. Right? When we wake up in the morning and we get right into doing our shit, we get right into handling our day. And sometimes life is like that, right? I understand. Sometimes just shit happens and life is like that. But what happens is we put on our human suit, we become a somebody, and then we go interact with our day as the somebody we've assumed ourselves to be, right? And what's happening neurologically is we have this little mohawk, this little neural bundle here called the default mode network. And the default mode network, it's the part of our mind that basically houses the old self. It houses our most commonly thought patterns, our most commonly assumed assumptions, our most commonly beliefs, right? All kind of live in this neural place. And while there's nothing wrong with that, right? If your commitment, if your goal is to embody your full potentials and keep progressing day by day, week by week, if we just wake up and start using our old neural patterns to try to show up as new versions of ourselves, it's kind of like running in quicksand. We're just making life harder than it needs to be. And so when we wake up and we just get right into reacting to life, that's the part of our mind we're allowing to be in the driver's seat. And like I said, hey, shit happens. We have kids, we have pets, we have stuff waking us up. Not every single morning is perfect. But when you can do this morning routine that I'm going to show you that I've used with over 500 clients to help these men optimize how they show up every morning and every day, right? It's not about perfection, but it's about commitment. When you can do this, what happens is this morning routine will actually give you a little space so that that default mode network doesn't have to be the first part of your mind you use in the morning. And these key 3 habits that I'm going to show you allow the mind is like a symphony, right? The mind is like an orchestra. It's got all these beautiful parts that when they work together, we're superhuman. But right? If you have a symphony or an orchestra where the instruments are playing out of tune or half the instruments aren't playing, it's not going to sound as good. And so when you do these key 3, it's going to allow your default mode network to cool off a bit, and it's going to allow the other super centers of your mind to come online. And the other benefit, which I think is huge, is this morning routine allows you to put your mind in its rightful place. We all have a mind, but our mind is not who we are. There's a quote that says, the mind is a wonderful servant, but a lousy master, right? And again, when we wake up and we just go into our life and just start solving problems and reacting, we're really letting the reactive component of our mind and our nervous system kind of take the steering wheel of our life. And so the key 3 in this morning routine is going to allow you to kind of take a step back and put the mind in its rightful spot, because you, the true you, the real you, the you that is here witnessing this information that is being processed through the mind, you are not the mind. And the more the real you, the authentic you, the grounded you, the present you is in the driver's seat of your life, you're going to show up differently. And when we show up differently, we create different results in our life. And we show up differently, we create different results for our family and our loved ones and our clients and the work we do. So that's why this morning routine is worth it, because here's the deal. We have a mind and a body that when we wake up wants to stay in bed. I've been doing a morning routine for 7 years, and still every single day when my alarm goes off, my mind and my body tell me, hey, just stay in bed a little bit longer, stay in the warmth, stay in the cocoon, right? And so knowing the why, right? Knowing the why behind the morning routine allows us to commit more deeply to the discipline when it gets uncomfortable. So that's my spiel. That's the why. That's why I do this. Hey, you get to optimize your mind. You get to create neuroplasticity in your thought forms and create new thought patterns, which lead to different habits, which lead to different results. And you get to put the real you in the driver's seat. So that's why you should do this consistently, even when it's uncomfortable. You have my respect, right? So now let's get into the key 3. And the last thing I'll say before this, yes, there's about 100 things you could do for a morning routine. You can listen to Joe Rogan or Andrew Huberman and find hundreds of biohacks and things to do in the morning. And that's all well and good. I'm just saying, when you strip it all down, these key three have been instrumental for my own transformation, for helping me show up as a better man, a better leader, a better husband, a better coach and leader for my clients. And like I said, hundreds of guys have used it, and it's produced really beautiful results. So let's get into it. So number one of the key three is a cold shower. Right? A cold shower is a statement. That's why I love the cold shower. I hate the cold shower, but I love the cold shower. It is a spiritual statement that the true you is here for this day. Right? Like I said, when we wake up, we have a mind and a body that has its own agenda, right? We have a mind and a body that wants to stay comfortable. We have a mind and a body that has a bunch of assumptions of how the day is going to go and all these thought forms, But when we take that cold shower, we're present, we're awake, and we're saying, I have a mind, but I'm not my mind. I have a body, but I'm not my body. I am here to steer my ship. And then boom, we endure the cold shower, right? So yes, there's a bunch of neurophysiological benefits to a cold shower, right? Again, it's great for our mind. It's great for our nervous system. It's great for our immune system. It's great for our body. It's great for our wakefulness, right? There's a whole slew of neurophysiological benefits. But for me, the greatest benefit is the spiritual benefit of like, hey, you are showing up even though your mind and body may not want you to, because remember, you have a mind, you have a body, but you're so much more than that. And the cold shower is an act of self-love. It's an act of presence. It's an act of saying, hey, I'm here for this day. Let's go, right? So that's why I love the cold shower. It doesn't have to be a super long cold shower. I live in Southern California. The water stays cold for like a minute, right? So the first thing I do, I let the cold water hit me. I get it all over me in my armpits, all the places that I want it to get. And then, after a minute, the water's warm anyway. But again, it's the act of the discomfort. It's the act of discipline that cultivates a lot of positive momentum and change for the day. So yeah, when you get in your cold shower, let it be cold for a minute, couple minutes, however long you're feeling it. And then, turn it warm and do the rest of your routine in the shower, brush your teeth, whatever, right? So that's the cold shower. The second thing is meditation, right? Just like the cold shower, meditation has been researched out the wazoo. We know how beneficial it is for our mind. We know how beneficial it is for our emotional intelligence. We know how beneficial it is for our body. We know how beneficial it is for our spiritual health, right? And so meditation, and I've been creating meditation specifically designed for men's transformation for years and years and years. And here's why I love guided meditation for men, is because the masculine mind likes to go and do. It likes to fix. It likes to figure things out. It likes to overcome, right? That's part of that masculine energy we have, right? That masculine drive to do and accomplish and have and all that. And that's beautiful. However, first thing in the morning, we don't want our mind getting carried away by that energy, right? Because again, the old circuitry in our mind is going to take over, and then a slightly different version of ourself gets put in the driver's seat, right? We want the real full you in the driver's seat. And so meditation, again, allows our default mode network to slow down a bit. It allows our mind to synchronize. It allows the real us to put our mind in its rightful place as our servant, right? Not as our master, right? And again, it regulates our nervous system, and it allows us to access new potentials, right? Our old thoughts run old scripts about what we think is possible. So when we take 10, 15, 20 minutes to do a meditation and we allow the mind's chatter to slow down, we actually open up bigger fields of possibility for ourselves. We actually open up access to bigger assumptions and beliefs and possibilities for ourselves, and we get less stressed and reactive. Right? The more proactive we can be, the more we can use our intellect intentionally, right? The more reactive we are, the more we're using past habits and softwares to steer the ship, right? And again, if you're on a mission to be the best version of yourself and manifest your full potential, we don't want to be running old scripts, right? Because what got you here won't get you there, right? So again, meditation is great for creating new neural pathways, for allowing the mind to transform, for optimizing the nervous system, and again, for creating access to better thought forms and higher potentials so that we can show up and have an incredible day. The third thing is reading 10 pages or consuming 10 minutes of like an audiobook or a podcast that is designed to expand you. So not so much entertainment, right? But a book, a podcast, or an audiobook that expands you and that resonates with you and that is on a topic that is, again, generative and contributive, right? So it could be a personal development book. It could be a book about spirituality. It could be a book helping you level up a certain skill set that you're looking to enhance or optimize in your life or your work, right? And what happens is when we read or when we consume this information, especially after the cold shower and meditation, our mind in our kind of cognitive functioning is much more primed to receive that information and make use of it, right? So not only are we going to not only are we going to be less distracted while we're ingesting the information, but the information can go a little deeper and can impact our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And so again, and also when you read 10 pages a day, it may not seem like much, but over the course of a year, that's over 3,000 pages. You know, that could be like, oh man, that could be 50 books, 60 books maybe, right? And so 10 pages a day or 10 minutes of a book or 10 minutes of a podcast that's, again, in a line topic is going to be really good for you. Right. And here's what I'll say. You can do these in any order, right? You can play around. If you want to do the meditation first, then the cold shower, then read, or you want to read and then meditate and then finish with the cold shower, play around with it, make it your own. And then, go from there. But like I said, doing this in the morning, again, it takes 30 to 40 minutes, right? A cold shower takes a minute to 5 minutes. The meditation can be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, and then the 10 minutes of reading or listening to the book, right? It doesn't take much, but what this does is it compounds. It compounds. If you've ever heard of the book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, it's a deep study on how small repeated things that serve us, even if they're inconvenient, those are the things that they hit this tipping point and then they exponentially change our life. Right? So we don't notice massive changes at first. We may notice little shifts in how we think and feel, but then 30 days go by, 60 days go by, and we look in the rear view and we're like, damn, I've gone really far. I've gone really fast. When I first started adopting a morning routine, it was hard. It was really hard. I remember I was living with roommates at the time. I was embarrassed for them to see me meditating and all that, right? But I was just but I started to notice these little differences. So I stuck with it. And now I'm pretty unrecognizable to who I was 5-6 years ago. I love who I was 5-6 years ago. I have respect for who I was 5-6 years ago, but I just have a super sincere mission in my heart to become the best man, the best father, the best husband, the best leader, and create a lot of impact in my life while I'm still alive and have breath in my lungs. And this morning routine allows you to show up that way. So thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, because every week there'll be new lessons and videos coming out just like this. And I want to leave you with a gift. So if you scroll down into the description section, you'll see some free assets, some free meditations, and free trainings I would love for you to leave with. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya.